Have you come into companies where you can immediately feel that the culture might not have bred that openness and that level of communication that you need to be successful as a leader of an organization? And then what do you do about that to create that safety?
Well, in my experience, and I say this only because it's true, each of my predecessors in every job I've had have been fired. And so when I show up, it's not a good thing. And so people aren't necessarily waiting for me to arrive. And so it's kind of human nature under these situations for people to insulate themselves, go inside a little bit. And there's risk in their minds of sharing too much, right? It's really important right off the bat to establish some consistent ground rules in terms of building trust. Again, it gets back to intellectual curiosity. Help me understand what's going on here. Be open, even if it's done anonymously, if you kind of have an onboarding technique. But the first thing is really to ask a ton of questions to try to build some perspective and context around what's going on. Icon Office Solutions was a $5 billion company with very geographically disseminated. Only 10% of the employees at Icon worked at headquarters. So that's an incredible cultural challenge. And you think about transforming, and the company was basically a function of a bunch of small dealerships that had been rolled up. So not only was it decentralized geographically, each one of these little pockets had their own culture. And it took several years and frankly, to be honest with you, some leadership changes to kind of integrate into sort of a common set of values, behaviors, and attitudes, which then really is your culture, right? Culture is simply a set of shared values, and you can express those values in how you behave. So that's pretty foundational work if you're going to get an organization aligned.